Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Castello Show. It is match week 26. Super excited to be here with you. I am Brian, here with my co-host and father, John. We apologize. We've been gone for a few weeks. We actually did record last week, and we never got it out. We had some technical stuff, but we're excited to be back. And we're coming off a good little run for both of us. Honestly, it sucks for you guys that we didn't get the episodes out, because these may have been our best predictions, and we didn't get them out.
Yeah, I mean, I had some good stuff. I had some stuff that was annoying as well, just like always, but...
Well, nonetheless, we're back. We're excited. We've got a shortened week. Not everyone plays, so we're going to cover last week first, then we'll get into, adjustments you got to make. I'm going to run through all the scores from last week, and then we'll talk about a couple games. As usual, home team first. We've got Columbus Crew losing 2-1 to the New England Revolution. DC with a 1-1 draw against Miami. Montreal 3-2 over Austin. Then we had Philly 4-0 smacking of Chicago Fire. Then we had Cincinnati losing 1-0 to NYCFC. Dallas in a 1-1 draw with LAFC. Houston Dynamo losing at home 2-1 to San Jose. Nashville 5-1 over Orlando. Big win there. We had RSL 3-1 loss to Minnesota. Vancouver Whitecaps 3-2 win over St. Louis. LA Galaxy with a decisive 3-0 win over Colorado. San Diego Portland in a 0-0 draw. One of very few 0-0 draws for San Diego. Then Sunday, we had 3 games. Atlanta 0-0 with Toronto. Charlotte FC 1-0 over the New York Red Bulls. And then the Sounders 5-2 to round out the week playing Kansas City. So, couple big score lines there. I mean, the Nashville one, I think that was kind of a shock for a lot of people. Orlando's been flying high.
I actually didn't think that was not shocking at all to me.
Really?
I didn't like Orlando coming off all these high highs.
Yeah.
And going on the road after being Miami, and I knew they were going to be rotating players, and then they did, and it was like, oh. 'Cause I didn't like Ojeda, and then he didn't play. And I was kind of pissed he didn't play, because I thought that could have been a differentiator for me. Because I didn't think he was going to have a great game, and I thought if he did play, he wasn't playing 90.
Yeah. Well, and I also... I will say this. I thought Nashville would win this game. I just didn't think they were going to win 5-1. I thought Orlando would be able to hold it together a little more.
What's annoying is I like Nashville in this, and I don't know why, but I did not take Serge or...
Yeah, I didn't have them either. Another big one, LA Galaxy 3-0 over the Rapids.
So that was shocking.
Yes, and look, the Rapids without Mihailovic, I get that there's going to be a period of,
Navarro's taken over. This game was terrible.
Yeah.
They got shut out. He had the 2 points for the minutes, and that was it. All he had was the 2. But before that, 17, 9, and 9.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Navarro goes crazy. Well, and then they had Yapi kind of filling in Mihailovic's role, and he had 2 goals.
Yeah, so they've been
recently.
productive, and they've been scoring, and that's why I didn't actually have Navarro in my starting 3 for my forwards. I wound up putting him in when Musa didn't play.
Right.
And
but yeah, it's kind of nice for the Galaxy. Again, too little, too late. I mean, we've seen this before with the Galaxy this season, that it's like...
And what's the point? And then they went out and lost their game that mattered during the week.
Yeah. Nonetheless, a moral victory for LA. Charlotte, I mean, honestly, this was a boring game, but I was pumped that they beat the Red Bulls. The Red Bulls, if you are a Charlotte fan and you follow them, you remember that horrific playoff loss, so anytime we beat the Red Bulls, I'm pumped.
Yeah, but Charlotte should have won that game. I mean, Charlotte at home is strong. Red Bull on the road is awful.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, I mean, the Charlotte back line kind of weird moment there is over, I feel like. I think they're comfortable. I like Harry Izatofalo, that left back they signed. I think he's awesome. He looks really dynamic, and he seems to play well with Zaha, too.
I still don't understand Tim Ream as one of the starting halfbacks. It
no,
doesn't make sense.
I mean, to me, you sign Toffolo, you take Ream out of the lineup, and you keep Milan to Privet. That was the...
And we didn't get to talk about it, but they got a shutout the week before, and I don't remember off the top of my head who they played, and Tim Ream was a player of the week. He should have had a handball in the box.
Yeah, they didn't call it.
It went to VAR, and they said no. It was clear as day that his arm was away from his body. It was awful. And he got a player of the week. They still got the shutout, and I didn't like their defense because of him. He did make a mistake, like I thought, and he didn't pay for it all. That was really disappointing.
Yeah.
And the whole world took Kalina and Charlotte defenders.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people are taking Ream. I am standing firm on Melanda's the play if you like Charlotte defense.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe Toffolo, as he gets more involved, does he start getting up in the attack, that kind of thing. I mean, that's something to think about. Philly, I mean, honestly, this was the last game I really want to talk about unless you had something.
I don't.
4-0 over Chicago. Great game from Kai Wagner with a goal and an assist. Olaski with a goal and an assist. Jean-Jacques with a goal, and then Baribo with a goal as well. I just want to run through. This is separated by fantasy points. So, for both teams, Kai Wagner had the most points with 19, then Olaski with 13, then Jean-Jacques with 10, then Baribo with 9, Jacob Glesnes with 8. I have still not said a Chicago player yet. Then we have Macania with 8, we have Westfield with 8, Andrew Rick with 7. The first Chicago player on this list is Bamba with 5, then Quinn Sullivan with 4, then Gutierrez with 3. So, I mean, very few bonus points, very few anything for Chicago. They were truly dominated. And Philly has been riding high. What I will say, anytime someone wins 4-0 like that, expect a comeback to earth game.
Yeah.
So, and they've really got a matchup for a comeback to earth game.
Well, and how do you like Chicago after getting destroyed like that, having to sit for 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, and I'm curious if, like, that 2 weeks is good because they're going to stew on it, or if that 2 weeks is bad because they're going to stew on it, you know?
They play at home against New England. You would think that would be really good.
That's a good
They're
game
actually not as good at home as they are on the road.
Yeah,
they're that odd team. But, I mean, home against New England after that beatdown, that's it could be a Zinkernagel week.
Yeah, for sure. Our actual fantasy teams this last week. So I had 98 points, 807 overall, 24th in Charlotte. Honestly, even though it was a good week, I was still unhappy. I felt like there were some things that could have gone better here. The big thing, and I'll start from the back, Fry as my keeper, was really, I mean, 5-2 to Kansas City. That's a team they should shut out. And I get, yeah, you won 5-2, who cares? But you should shut out Kansas City. You're capable of doing that. I had Kai Wagner for 19 points. That was a big one. Malanda I had for 8. Roldan I'd already won by the time Seattle was playing, so I wasn't really looking anymore. He didn't start. I could have put someone else in, but I really only would have got an extra point out of it, so it didn't matter that much. 2 DNPs as my other defenders. Then through the midfield, I had Jack McGlynn with 9, Dreyer with 5, Evander with 7. On my bench, Thomas Muller, who put up 8, first goal for the Whitecaps, and then Mihailovic with 6. Then up top, Sonny, 15 points as my captain, turned it to 30. I mean, that was the decisive move that I made. I had Bawanga up top, which on one of the Lost episodes, we talked about what happens to Bawanga's fantasy production now that Sonny's there. And we'd said, well, we thought it might hurt Bawanga, but also it's still Denny Bawanga. There will still be times where what if Sonny's double covered? Now Bawanga's open. So
right.
I thought both of them could be a good idea because one of them sets up the other one's goal or whatever.
There's been weeks where Suarez and Messi each had over 15 points.
Right. So, and even though it didn't work out this week, I still think there are going to be weeks where Sonny Bawanga makes sense. I don't think I'm never going to do this again, but it needs to be used sparingly. This week was not the week.
Home against Atlanta.
Yeah. And then I had Allende on the bench. He had 2 points. Originally, I had Arango for Bawanga originally. That would have tipped me up over 100. I mean, there's so many little things I could have done to get to triple digits, but
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, 98 points, it's hard to complain. It really is. That's a good week. So, as far as league stuff goes, let's see. I am 839 overall, 807 overall, and then 24th in Charlotte. So, 5.01% overall, and then I'm comfortably in the top 5% for Charlotte. So, pretty happy with where I am right now. Honestly, right now, I'm kind of just gearing up for the playoffs in our league. I'm not thinking as much about the overall stuff, but I am still trending upward, so that's nice. John, how'd you do last week?
I didn't do poorly, but I lost, which was unfortunate because this was an important week. I'm in 6th in our league, and I was a game behind Matt, and that's who I played. So if I beat him, we'd be tied. And I wanted to get into that 4-5 game.
Yeah.
So right now I'm still in that 6th game. I'm 2 games back of him. I had 95. He had 109. He had a really good week. So that 95, I started with Takioka in goal. He did not get the clean sheet, so then I pivoted to Kalina. I had Malanda on the field. I had Sealy on the bench, and they didn't get the clean sheet, but he scored a goal, which is why I had him. That's why I had him the week before.
Yeah.
So I had him and Malanda, and that was good. And then I had Yamar in that last game, and they didn't get the clean sheet. He only had 1. So actually pretty good for me defensively.
Yeah.
Even still, 8 from my keeper, 8, 7, and then 1 on defense.
Well, and honestly, one shit-the-bed defender is okay. That seems to be normal.
Yeah. So, my midfield, I had Muller. I had McGlynn, who I captained. I was debating between him and Sonny. I made the wrong choice. He wasn't bad. I mean, 9 points. Captain at 9 points isn't terrible. But when you see what the other guy did, that I was debating between. I had Zinkernagel. This game should have set up for him, and he died and got a 2 on the field for me, and I had a Vander with 7. On the bench, I had Dreyer, who had 5. So I only lost 3 points by having him on the bench instead of Zinkernagel.
Right.
Up top, I had Sonny, and I originally had Musa, who didn't play, so I swapped in Navarro.
Right.
What was unfortunate was I had Masovsky on the bench, and I liked Masovsky better than Navarro. I had him in my original 3. The problem was he's in the very last game, and Seattle, they make so many changes. Like, they change their lineup, and I was like, I can't risk him. I mean, if he has a great game, he'll still count as someone on my bench.
Right.
You know? So, but if Navarro's on the bench, that would have given me an additional 3 points. I would have had Dreyer.
Yeah.
Dreyer's bench points. But Masovsky got me 19. Sonny got me 15. But Navarro got me 2. So, 95 overall. Wasn't a terrible week, but there was a few things that could have got me into the 100, 110 range. So,
looking ahead to next week, so like I said, it's an abbreviated week, so I'm going to run through all the teams that are playing. We'll go in order again, home team first, as always, starting with 7:30 on Saturday. We've got the New England Revolution playing Charlotte FC. We've got NYCFC, DC United, New York Red Bulls, Columbus Crew, Toronto, Montreal, and then Cincinnati, Philly. Then we move on to 8:30 matchups. We've got Austin hosting San Jose. St. Louis takes on Houston. We've got Sporting Kansas City, Colorado. Minnesota United, Portland Timbers. And then rounding out the night, Nashville, Atlanta. Then Sunday, just one match at 10:45 because they don't want anyone to stay up to see it. LAFC, San Diego. So, I don't know why when Sunday night soccer is like a marquee thing for them, they would make it at 10:45. I know it's a West Coast game, so it's 7:45 over there, but just make it a day game for them.
Right, make it a day game for them and have a Sunday night game. But you know what the problem is well, I mean, I don't know how much they're really going against college football, because this is the last Sunday before the NFL, so there's college games on Sunday. But I don't think that's the same fans.
No.
And this is your last week before you have to go against the NFL.
Yeah, no, you may as well take advantage of daytime slots. Which I guess in their head, they're on Apple TV, so they're not, like, directly competing. But you are. I mean, people watch football and soccer, so... and, by the way, people who play fantasy soccer almost definitely play fantasy football, and that's why they had the idea to play fantasy soccer. Going through players we kind of like and don't like this week. Do you want to cover the teams first, and then we'll get into the individual guys?
Yeah, I can. So, attacking-wise, Nashville, NYC are your top.
Mm-hmm.
All green. Some other good options are... I'm looking through. No one... They're all kind of weird. Like, you get some yellows and greens. You get... I mean, Colorado actually is pretty good. There's your Navarro. Mm-hmm. LA Galaxy's... LAFC's pretty good. Minnesota United's pretty good. But those two are the... I'm sorry, I forgot Red Bull.
Yeah.
Red Bull's... those are the top three. Are Red Bull, Nashville, and NYC. And then those other ones that I just said supplement in.
Right. As far as players go, I mean, my team is very NYC, Nashville heavy. I've got Matt Freese in the net right now. Because Saturday is just 7:30 and 8:30, there's not really a keeperoo option, and I don't like either keeper on Sunday. I think that game's going to be a goal fest, so I have Sinclair as my backup. To be honest, he's really just there to fill a spot. I was going to put a $4 million guy originally, but then I was like, what am I saving the money for? Because there's a lot of guys aren't playing this week anyway. So, through the back line, I've got Justin Hawk, Andy Nahar, and then I have Lingwane right now. If anyone changes, it's Lingwane. The other two I'm pretty solid on. Through the midfield, and then 2 DNPs, and I went with 2 Orlando players just to be positive that they actually don't play. Through the midfield, I've got Hani Mukhtar, and he's my captain right now. I flirted with some other captains. I'll get to that in a second. I thought about, Hannes Wolf is in my lineup, and then I have Anders Dreyer on the field in my lineup. Then my 2 bench midfielders were Georgi Mihailovic and Evander. Even though it's against the numbers, I just really do like him. And especially we talked about Philly coming off a big win like that. Evander is not like anything they saw last week, so that could be a bit of a shock to the system. Then up top, I've got Sonny, Surridge, and then Arango on the bench right now. I had thought about Sonny or Surridge as my captain. I think Hani feels a little bit safer. Sonny worked out last week, but San Diego, I mean, it's a weird matchup. I could see him going either way. And Surridge, I think, will almost definitely score, but Hani gets a lot more bonus points and things like that. Surridge is really a goal poach striker. There's not going to be a ton of, like, key passes, extras, so...
Yeah, he could get 2 goals, and Hani still have more points in him.
Right, so I just think Hani is more likely to have points without a goal, and that's something I always think about with captains, so... Because even if Surridge goes off and Hani just does okay for Hani is 8, that's 16. Surridge could go out and put up a 2, and I just don't see Hani doing that. So I think Hani's the safer play. I will say Arango, I've flirted with the idea of taking Arango out and putting Martinez in, but to do that, I would have to get rid of Hack, Wolf, or Freeze, and I don't really like any of the alternatives for them, so I think even though I don't like Arango as much as Martinez, I prefer this lineup to the lineup that fits Martinez, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. John, what are you thinking?
So I just realized I don't think I said defensive teams.
I don't think you did either. We kind of just moved on.
So, again, Nashville and NYC.
Yep.
I mean, those are the teams. I mean, if we haven't talked about betting in a while, I don't think. But those 2 teams, and I'm sure you're not getting great numbers with them, but you're picking wins. That's what you want to pick. So
Yeah.
if you win, it doesn't matter how much you laid out. So in addition to them, Minnesota, Philly's actually not bad, but I don't like them at all. I don't like them coming off this, and Cincinnati coming off the loss.
Yeah.
In Cincinnati. The numbers actually say Philly. One thing I want to say about Philly defense, I was the only person not to have Wagner last week.
Yeah.
And we've talked about, well, you can't pick this guy because you think everyone has him. If you don't like him, and everyone does have him, then good for you. But if he goes off and everyone has him but you, it hurts so bad. And that's why you feel like you have to take those players.
Right.
Well, I went against it. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I took it in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 19 and everyone had that and I didn't. That's why these guys had 109, 114, and I had 95. So the numbers this week say go Wagner again. And everybody loves Wagner. He just had 19. Oh my God. And he's Wagner. I don't like him this week. I really like Cincinnati. But the numbers do say Wagner. So just so everyone knows. Austin FC, believe it or not, actually has really good numbers this week. LAFC, they're very good on their side, but their opponent, San Diego, is like one of the worst opponents to play on the road.
Right.
So those are your defensive teams. Toronto actually isn't terrible as well. So someone else you might want to consider. I was actually thinking about Richie Larea because he used to score goals and get assists. He doesn't anymore. So I kind of went off of him. So right now, I got Freeze in goal. You know, there really isn't a keeperoo unless Freeze lets up a goal in the first half.
Yeah.
Then I'll put in, well, no. I was going to say then I'll put in Joe Willis, but I got Nahar, Mukhtar, and Surridge.
Yeah.
So...
No, well, and that's what makes it so hard this week is the guys that are like sure things. What you can't take their whole team. I mean, you gotta cut somewhere. So
yeah, so I'm not sure yet what my pivot is. To be totally honest, like I really don't know yet. I'll hopefully not have to make that decision.
Right.
So I didn't want to go hack because I wanted Wolf. I already have Freeze, and I wanted Wolf and Alonso Martinez. Right now, I went Wolf instead of Martinez. I did go hack because I couldn't find a third defender. I was hoping it was Larea. I thought about Sealy, but I don't think they're going to get a shutout, and he has 3 goals in the last 4 games.
Right.
Is he really going to have 4 goals in the last 5 games? He's not some golden boot guy.
Yeah. No, that doesn't sound right.
I really like Nashville, so I have Nahar, and I think he can score goals. I have Hack. I would love to get him out for someone else so that I could have Alonso Martinez. And I have Lungwani. Yeah. I like Minnesota, and I'm so scared of clean sheets anymore. I want to get guys that can score goals, that can be on the attack. And I really like both of those teams, Minnesota and Nashville, not only defensively, but offensively.
Right.
They have very good offensive matchups as well. So those are guys that I actually really like. I am going with the 5-3-2 with the 2 scrubs. I mean, almost all your games are at 7:30 and 8:30. So
yeah,
I really think the Autoru is your only option this week. Middle of the field, I got Mukhtar, Evander, and Mihailovic on the field. I really like all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Mukhtar's my captain right now. I have Wolf and Dreyer on the bench. Thing about Wolf, even when they do well, he doesn't always.
Right.
And he and Maxi Morales kind of go back and forth splitting points.
Yeah, that's true.
So he could have a great game, and I think he will. But I like Mukhtar, Evander, and Mihailovic much better.
Yeah.
My other guy on the bench is Dreyer, who I don't like his matchup.
Yeah.
LAFC at home is the best team at home defensively.
Yep.
They have 6 clean sheets in 12 games. That's 50%.
That's pretty good.
Let up only 1 goal in 5 of those other 6 games, and they let up 2 goals once.
Right.
Their numbers are outrageous. Now, San Diego's very good on the road. The reason that I am scared to not take Dreyer is he has not done well lately. And he's too good for that to continue. And playing a pretty much rival team is the time for the get-right game. So I don't like the matchup, but I like him. But I have him on the bench because I think the whole world's going to take him, and I hope he sucks, and he's my guy on the bench that I don't use.
Right.
So there's your Wagner. There's your fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Up top, I have Sonny and Serge on the field, and I have Choupo-Moting on the bench. I was debating between Wolf and Choupo-Moting, or Forsberg and Alonso Martinez.
Yeah. And
one attacking NYC player, one attacking Red Bull player.
I'm a little more comfortable with Wolf than Forsberg, and the strikers to me are kind of a wash. So I think I lean NYC if I'm between those two.
I think Red Bull will score, and I just hope it's going to Choupo-Moting and not Forsberg. But I'm still, just like I'm still debating Hack, I'm still debating Wolf and Moting.
Right.
I actually really like the rest of my team, which means they will suck. But I really do. I don't see how those guys don't score with the matchups, with what they're coming off, with all of that. When you put all that information in, this should be a very strong lineup. Yeah.
And then we haven't talked about betting in a while, so I actually, just because I was curious, I went ahead and pulled up the odds. So, Red Bull's Columbus Crew, both plus 155. The draw is plus 250. That is weird that they're even money, but honestly, I don't know who I would take.
Because Red Bull's so much better at home than they are on the road.
Yeah. Cincy is a narrow favorite, plus 140 at home. Phillies plus 160.
But you're still getting money.
Yeah. NYC minus 190. DC plus 450. Revs plus 125. Charlotte plus 185. Toronto minus 105. Montreal plus 260. Minnesota's a pretty heavy favorite, minus 145 playing Portland. I think that's correct. The Nashville game is minus 185. Atlanta's plus 425. So the bet that I locked in was a parlay with Nashville and NYCFC, which turned those two into a plus 135 bet. So if you're really confident on two that are way negative, as much as parlays are not always the smart move,
right?
Sometimes it can turn two stupid bets into one decent one.
What's Colorado getting?
Colorado is plus 188.
I really like that, actually.
I do like that.
Navarro's someone I debated this weekend.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you another one that I think. San Diego playing LAFC, which I am not 100% positive San Diego's going to win, but they are plus 320.
Because Sonny.
Yes, because Sonny. And LA's minus 145. I just 320 is such a crazy number that if you got $10 and you don't know what to do with it, I don't think that's a bad play, honestly. But yeah, that's what we got this week. Again, abbreviated week, so a lot less to go through. John, was there anything else you wanted to say to the people?
Yes. Good luck this week. And always check your lineups.
Check your lineups, guys. We'll see you next week.